Hi everyone, how are you all doing? I know it's been a while since I put out a video, but I just wanted to have a little catch up. And I think I had mentioned in my last video that I had changed the name of my channel to Ascension Help. And I did want to do possibly one last video, but we'll see. I'll never say never. Just to discuss sort of a culmination point that I've gotten to within what we have come to call the twin flame journey. I can now say that it's come to a sort of culmination point in my life, and I can really look back with an objective view, a non-emotional view of that journey, of what it taught. I took down the videos where I shared my journey just because I don't even know that I want to spread that for others, or maybe it's almost even wishing that other people don't go through what I went through in those videos. I was feeling a lot of pain, a lot of loss. And now in retrospect, I see the journey for what it was. I am not one that would ever take away from that journey or say, oh, it wasn't real, that person was not my twin flame, anything of that sort. But my views of the purpose and even my projections on the outcome have completely changed now from when I had posted those videos. When I had posted those videos years ago, I was in a place of holding out for union. I was in a place of that a lot of us were, which was what I've described as, the carrot in front of the horse. The twin flame union, or the thought of the union coming together, the thought that if I healed myself enough, if I worked on myself enough, if I got together with other twin flames and we sent healing to our twins for them to heal, for them to awaken, that we would come into that blissful union that we had all been hoping for. We'd been told over and over that the true union is that union of self. And I always hated to hear that when I was going through that, to be honest with you. And I took it just as, okay, I need to find myself. Then I'll come into union, which again, physical union with my twin flame, as in a relationship in the 3D with my twin flame. But in retrospect, it was always bringing me back to the same thing and realizing that the twin flame connection brought me into that place of pure bliss, pure love, pure connection. And all it did was bring up my own wounds, bring up my lack of connection with myself, with source, God, whatever you want to call it, with the universe, with the collective, with that oneness. So what I've come to understand in my journey is that it is true that what we are seeking comes from within, and the universe will keep showing you those lessons until you finally get it. I think different people have different ways to navigate or be pushed, or different synchronicities, different contracts of how their human self is going to come to this earth and learn the lessons and go through this ascension process. For me, I believe that it was through many different steps, but the twin flame journey being one of them. I was married, and my ex-husband actually started awakening before me. And I thought he was going crazy. He was seeing number synchronicities. He was using psychedelics, which I judged. I was like, why are you doing drugs? That's what teenagers do. All of that. Then I met my twin flame, and something ignited in me, something burst open in me. There was a whole new expansion. And there were times when I was leaving my ex-husband in that whole, time of my life where I was confused, and I wanted my twin flame, but my twin flame lived in another country and was just in town to work, and it was a whole big confusion. It was honestly the hardest time in my life. But my twin flame left town, and I would try to go back with my ex-husband now, and my soul would be screaming at me like, no, you cannot. Your soul has lessons to learn, and you cannot learn them anymore through your partnership with him. And what I can see now is that my partnership with him was very codependent for both of us, and it kept us safe, and it kept us sheltered, and maybe not exposed to elements that I think both of our souls needed to become exposed to, and fears that we needed to face, etc., etc. So I went off on my own. As some of you know, some of you have heard my story. I was a single mom, and I went deep into this whole healing journey, and I still continue to go through it to this day. And nowadays, it's in my soul to want to help others going through that journey, because I know how difficult it could be at times when you're feeling all of this pain and wounding coming up. It's literally the only way that you can heal through these wounds is to face them at first, and that can be very, very uncomfortable. So my twin flame leaving and having that bliss that I felt externally was so very difficult. It felt very traumatic for me. I've never experienced loss like that. And I held on hope that it would return. And with that hope, somehow found out about the twin flame connection, which then led me to so many amazing and wonderful things that I would not trade for the world. It led me to other twins or people going through that journey who I still cherish our connections and our friendships, and we help each other through this journey so much. It led me to this channel and to working with people through my channel who I also treasure and adore. Many of my clients that I've been working with for a long time. It's really, really special, and I'm very grateful for that part of my life. And I had taken healing courses. I did ayahuasca ceremonies. Where does the list end? It's been constant. I spent a couple years practically just closed off from the world a lot of the time, and just in my bed and almost like a hermit studying, learning about all of these different aspects, reading books, listening to talks, YouTube. I swear YouTube saved me through this because of this timeline where we all can gather so much information, which is so perfect in this now for what's going on in the shift in the collective consciousness. So during that time, my twin and I, we would keep in contact here and there. We had a lot of tumultuous times that were just so heartbreaking. There'd be times we weren't speaking to one another. There'd be that typical push-pull you'd hear about. Anger and rage came out of me. My childhood wounds, my abandonment issues, my lack of self-worth and self-love, all of it came to the forefront. And man, oh man, to look back at it, it was excruciating at times to get through it. But the universe also always sent the right tools along at the right time. And there are certain times that you just have to get through that pain on your own, and there's no quick fix. There's no way to make it easy in some moments. And I've even had clients that I've worked with that I can tell they're in that state, they're in that purging state where all seems hopeless. And there's been times when I've been told by spirit to not do a session with them until they've gotten through that. I can't go in and just put band-aids on it energetically and make it all better. It's better to just get through it and face it and feel it and see what it brings up. And I was very resistant. My ayahuasca ceremonies were extremely uncomfortable. Me crying and just noticeably having a very rough time because I was so resistant at that time. So over the years, the blocks have come up to the surface. You face them, you look at them, and I must say that having compassion for myself, compassion even for my ego, being honest with myself and with what I really feel, with how things make me feel, learning to speak my truth. There was hiccups along the way with that. At one point, the truth just started spewing out of me, but now connecting my heart with my throat chakra and being in alignment with all my chakras so that when I speak my truth, I can do it in the most loving way possible. I'm human. It's not always perfect. It's always a work in progress, but huge improvements. I'd been told by someone that if I didn't start speaking my truth, this was an intuitive healer. They told me and warned me that I could develop breast cancer if I didn't learn to release, if I didn't learn to speak my truth. And I realize now that before this whole twin flame journey, and even in my marriage, I would stuff everything down. I would hold everything in. I would tell myself everything's okay. I would deny my childhood wounds. I would actually be sort of the counselor or confidant for all my friends to call with their problems. And I feel like in retrospect, being that helper or even just focusing my energy on other people's problems, it helped me to not have to take a look at my own. I had food and shopping addictions. They would help to numb the pain, like, bake some cookies and feel good that night, or or go to the mall and shop and then, it'll feel better if you buy that new thing. All of these addictions, really, that would come into place. So over time, I've learned so many lessons, and I do want to continue to share different tidbits and what's worked for me along my journey with all of you, just in hopes that any of it could help. Again, letting the wounds come up, facing them, sending compassion. Recently, I've received some meditations on forgiveness, and those have been incredibly powerful for me. Just to also look at the world around you with compassion and realize that we're all souls. We're all on this journey. We're all learning. Nobody's perfect. And when we can drop our expectations of wanting this perfection or wanting people to be able to read our minds or treat us the way we want to be treated, it's not so cut and dry. So we have to have compassion. We have to have understanding. Yes, there's a place where we can have boundaries and know what works and what doesn't work for us and speak our truth. But there's also something to be said for just dropping a lot of these expectations and just flowing through life. The expectations I had of my twin and the amount that at one point I was projecting my happiness onto him, fulfilling things within me that I thought he could fix. He could make it all better. He could protect me. He could save me. If only I could just stay in that blissful feeling that I felt with him, all would be good in life. And to realize that no, he just showed me the connection with Source through him, but I needed to find that connection on my own. And sometimes nowadays, to come into a sort of meditative place, or just a place where you can walk through life with peace and grace, and just filling yourself with that love and connection to Source, the same way that you might have experienced through your twin flame connection. It's just exposing it to us. It's just showing us what's possible. So I'm going to continue to do more videos that are more specific on different healing techniques, different meditations, different outlooks or books or things that I've read that have helped me along the way. I do feel that most of, actually, if not all, clients or people that I connected to on this journey have all really come into this place of surrender, which is so beautiful. They've all really let go of that want and need for the twin flame relationship. Many, like myself, have found beautiful soul partners that almost continued those lessons and that connection in a different way. And I know that my relationship, it's been so many amazing lessons and reflections, and it's like it picked up where the twin flame journey left off, and is like a constant reminder to me of where I'm at. It just quickly reflects right back to me. So I hope that all of you are doing well. I hope that 2020 is feeling good for you like it is for me. It feels like coming to that culmination point, releasing all the old and being ready to really step into a new mission, a new way of being, a new way of living. All these lessons for all these years finally coming together, your gifts coming together. And now I believe for a lot of twin flames, it's going to be time to take what we've learned, not just from going through the whole twin flame drama, if you want to call it that, but appreciating what we learned from the Ascension journey that our twin flame brought forward to us. And feeling such gratitude for it, and gratitude for our twin flame. I've always spoken about that. My twin flame is still out there. We are connected on Instagram. I still receive dreams about him sometimes, but yet my 3D longing or expectation or hope even of any sort of relationship is gone. I see him as a special soul that I'll always cherish and treasure. He's very, very special to me. Just like my ex-husband, who I feel is like my soulmate, almost like a soul brother. I'm always forever grateful for my twin flame. I have tons of love for him in my heart. I want him to be happy. And then I'm very thankful for my new partner in my life. Not that new. It's been a while now, but it's had its ups and downs as it continued, as I said, to show me where I was at in this journey. Was I putting my happiness and my joy onto another? Was I wanting someone to fix me? Was I having expectations? Was I in the vibrations of jealousy or fear, lower based thought forms? And yes, I was. But clearing through it to a point where now it's flowing beautifully, and I'm really grateful for that. And I'm really grateful for him and the lessons he's taught me and how he's helped me to find myself as well along this path. And to just be in a new state of a sort of union that is full of freedom and just joy and uplifting each other and bringing out the best in one of each other, pushing one another, just enjoying it and being thankful for it for what it is in the now. Nothing is set in stone. I tell people I've been married before and that didn't work out, and I thought that was for the rest of my life. So just enjoy the moment. Just enjoy it for what it is. That's my cat. I got a new cat. She's very healing. She wants to speak right now. Oh, wow. She's very vocal right now. I did get a cat and highly recommend. I'm sure many of you have cats. They're just such special, and dogs or any pet animals are just such special little beings. They're so healing and just help transmute energies and show you that they are just in that flow all the time. They're not holding on to emotions. So that's just a little catch up of where I'm at currently. And again, I will try to bring out some more videos, some more interviews of inspiring people that I look up to or enjoy chatting with in my life. And if you have any suggestions, any questions, feel free to put them in the comments. And if you would like to do a session with me, I've discussed what my sessions are like before. Every one of them is different. We just start with working with where you're at, and it's a combination of a sort of coaching mixed with healing work, clearing work, sometimes even homework and like tasks, a channeling even. I receive messages from spirit sent for you depending on where you're at and what we discuss. And it's hard to describe what my sessions are like, but I really enjoy doing them. And I feel like my clients have felt benefits from them, from what I've seen and felt, so I can feel good about that. And I do feel that's my mission in life, is to want to assist people and help people so that all of us can continue to get to these higher levels of consciousness together and help heal the world really through that. So I'm wishing all of you a wonderful week, a wonderful day, a wonderful year. Talk to you soon.